There are over 2,000 easy demons in Geometry Dash, but the qualities of these levels vary massively. Despite this, there are only 5 easy demons that the community have decided are so terrible that they have more dislikes than likes. Today, I'll be playing all 5 of these demons to see if they're as bad as the community thinks. Who knows, I might find a couple of hidden gems. The 5th most disliked easy demon, with a little over 3,100 dislikes, is Eeka Hack V2. This is probably the worst name out of every demon I've completed, which is quite fitting because it's also one of the worst demons I've ever completed too. The gameplay and decoration is very consistently mediocre, leaning towards bad for the entirety of the level, but it's made worse by a couple of choke points that make this level incredibly frustrating and inconsistent. There's only one part that I'd say I actually like, it's being the ship section where you dodge cube portals, which was a fairly unique idea at the time to be fair, but that contains a secret way. This bypasses what would be another incredibly infuriating section of miserable mirror portal jumps. I don't even think it's unintentional due to the spammed sword blades everywhere. At the drop, there's also another unfun section full of orb spam, which barely got consistent even when I spammed as fast as I could. In conclusion, this very much deserves its negative dislike ratio. Guess I should be relieved that I fluked it from 35%. The 4th most disliked easy demon, with more than 7,100 dislikes, is Demon Mix. This is not to be confused with Demon Mixed, which is one of the most liked and also one of the easiest easy demons in the game. As the name suggests, this is a combination of various demons, but the only ones I can make out were Clubstep, Skyroll, and X-Step V2. I'm assuming everything else as old levels have become obscure over time. Just like the previous level, Demon Mix is no stranger to choke points. In the first 30% there are 2 inputs that will buff completely unnecessarily, and invisible spikes that just lessen the experience. The cruelty still remains at 79%, with the size change brought in directly after a sword blade, meaning you have to time your jump at the last minute. There's also this degeneracy at the end. Another issue is that some parts look like they weren't directly copied and instead rebuilt by hand, which does not make any sense because copying online levels was added in 1.7, and this level contains speed changes, released in the same update. Once again, we have another poor level, which I should have expected to be fair, one which I would recommend you give a miss. The 3rd most disliked easy demon, with well over 10,100 dislikes, is Ultimato. I was quite surprised to see a level by Viper in here, RobTop's unofficial second in command, and the former top 1 for many years of the Creator Points leaderboard. So, considering the quality of the last 2 levels, I was very eager to play Ultimato, as this is not only quite an enjoyable level, it is a memory level. Having played lots of old memory levels, I can assure you that this is quite rare. The level can be split into 4 main sections, a beginning key part with some really interesting and original fakes, especially for the time, followed by a ball part with lots of fakes involving fake ground. The next part I'm admittedly not a fan of, with a ship and UFO section with a single copy-pasted obstacle. We all know it's not a real Viper level without copy-paste, but this was a real missed opportunity. And the last is a complex arrangement of orbs and portals, which felt really fun and satisfying to learn. A long time ago, it was not uncommon for GD players to dislike levels, simply because they weren't good enough to beat them. I can only assume that this is the reason why this level is so disliked. I had so much fun with this and I'd recommend you play this if you're a memory fan. The 2nd most disliked easy demon, we bring out the Bizarre with a level that has over 12,500 dislikes, called Stereo Whiteness. This weird level has mostly memory cube sections but skill ship sections, as if the creator had no idea what they wanted to do with the level. The first thing you notice is the background decoration that looks like the creator just got the swipe tool and spammed the white squares randomly, which is just one of the many bizarre aspects to this level. To be fair, this background does provide some sections where the spikes are hidden in the background, making for some interesting fakes. But there is a section with a long strip of white blocks and multiple jumps, which felt a little inconsistent, because it was difficult to come up with a consistent flick pattern. There's also a couple of sections with random detailed blocks, which really add to the cobbled together feel this level has. Despite the quality of this level being admittedly questionable, I think the fact that this level feels so incredibly unpolished to a degree that very few rated levels have ever had makes Stereo Whiteness stick out to me. I honestly think I quite like it in the most bizarre way. And Geometry Dash's most disliked easy demon, with a staggering 20,300 plus dislikes, is 69 Machine. Another amusing name, but nice is not the word I would use to describe this level. I'm actually quite a big fan of the first quarter, but the usage of ground spikes making the level have the feel of a crystal cave. Unfortunately, the visuals get progressively worse as the level goes on, with the ending made up of just one block with the occasional coloured saw on ground spike. This was a bit disappointing, as with the level fully decorated, it really could have been quite special for the time. But to give credit, there is a better attempt here than in both the first two levels, both of which were released later. In almost every way, I feel as if this level is overwhelmingly average compared to the rest of the levels. There's nothing wrong with both the visuals and the gameplay, but they aren't exceptional either. I have no idea how this became the most disliked level in the game, when the first two levels were way worse. My guess is maybe the name? So, how truly bad were these levels? And do I agree with their arrangement? Well, I would call Demon Mix the worst for its blatant unoriginality. In Eeka Hack V2 slightly better, but these levels are a solid D tier. 69 Machine would be up next, but as I just discussed, it's just bang average. Whiteness takes silver because it does something very different quite well, but Ultimato is easily the best, as it's the only polished level here. So, in short, no level stayed in the same position. Now I think there's a couple alright levels here, so why do I think they're so disliked? Well, as you've probably noticed, all of these levels are quite old. I believe the most recent is 1.7, and as I said earlier, many people at this time just disliked levels that they couldn't beat or that seemed learning. With the current GD community in a very different place with a completely different attitude to beating hard levels, basically no demon ends up with a negative dislike ratio,